All right, Shalom. We want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And salutations to the Acumen, the forefront of earth, pushing this truth to its purity, wishing the life to do so. A few Aquakim that take the time to listen to the truth. Well, what we're seeing in this modern day age in this time is a role reversal, right? Yahweh Shemashai is switching the roles. He's taking the leaders of the world and bringing them down and bringing down the lowly, the hopeful elect, the 144,000, um, raising them up. And a lot of people just think it's going to be a quick transition, but it's not a quick transition because the Most High doesn't run on anybody's time. The Most High runs on his own time. And when he chooses to hit the climax of his own prophecies, and so I'm gonna just read this scripture real quick. This is Habakkuk 1 and 5. It says, "Behold ye among the heathen, and that ye are the Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans." All right. It says, "Behold ye among the heathen, and regard and wonder marvelously, for I will work a work in your days, which you will not believe, though it be told you." And one of those works is this truth. All right. And one of the things that people don't believe is that we are actually going to come back into power and come back into rulership. That's so far from everybody's mind, even two-thirds of our own people. They don't see it because we don't have an army. We don't have a country right now. We don't have a government established in EU and all this stuff. So they don't believe that we'll actually rulership. And that's one of the marvelous work of Yahweh Shemashai, because he's gonna take a trodden down people, a desolate, destroyed people, and put them in the heights of power and like you've never seen before. This salvation, this deliverance is gonna be the end all be all uh deliverance that you'll ever see in your whole entire life, man. People are gonna marvel. People are gonna be shocked to believe that people that barely could put their pants on their waist. People that were so low, looked down upon, spit upon, who wasn't in these big politic offices, are now ruling the planet with great wisdom. Which is really the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Let me see here. Uh, nope, that was it. If you have a pre, we can bring it out. I got okay. This is Zechariah. I think it's Zechariah 3, and I'm gonna start at 18. That's the lucky Zephaniah 3 and 18. It's Zephaniah 3 and 18, and it says, "I will gather them that are sorrowful for the solemn assembly, who are of thee, to whom the reproach of it was a burden." Because you know, talking to our people and waking them up, man, and having to fight against them on top of heathens, man, is a burden in a sense, man, because you have a lot of stuff. You have a lot of weight on your shoulders. You're fighting for a whole nation that doesn't even want to be saved. You basically you're fighting against ungrateful people who don't even appreciate the fact that our nationality has given back to us by the mercy of Yahweh Shemashai, and that He's actually with kindness declaring that a kingdom is coming. You know, um, says, um, "Behold, at that time will I undo all that afflict thee." See, most I said at that time, and that time is now. The curses are coming off slowly, but they're coming off. We there's brothers. I just saw a video of a brother. He posted about how Esau is barely having any children, man, and the demograph is changing. They don't have enough people to pay for the elderly. They're scared for their future because um they're having the lowest birth rate, but they said that the so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native American tribes, their birth rate is completely fine, man. The is cursing these devils, man. Withering that, all right, destroying
It's
their
just like it's just like in Egypt when the Egyptians were persecuting Israel, right, afflicting them. It says the more and more they grew. You know, we're in New Egypt today.
That's right. That's right. That's beautiful, man. Because what did it say? Nothing new underneath the sun. We're going through the same things that we did in Egypt again, right? Um, it says, "Behold, at that time will I undo all that afflict thee, and I will save." Hey, and if I can speak on the affliction, right? That he said that, and he in that time undo all that afflict thee. People don't take in the significance of even the minor things that the Most High took in away from us as a burden, man, as a curse. Just the little things, just getting out of that nigga vibe, you know, having people even fear us for even speaking the truth. That's something great because thing else like whatever, bro. Yeah, that's your dream. Yeah, cool. But people actually are scared. You don't even need to open your mouth, man. You can just know you're an Israelite and they understand that and they fear you off of that, man. You can see other kingdoms fighting against America, like those little things, show you that Yahweh Shem Shai is about to make his comeback because they're not in cahoots anymore, man. They're not on. We're not the full blown enemy right now. Esau's fighting everybody. Esau's in strength on all sides, like Yahweh Shem Shai would say in Job 18. He's fighting with everybody now, even among his own house. You know. Um, it says, Behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee, and I will save her that halteth, and gather her that was driven out, and I will get them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame. And at that time will I bring you again, even in the time that I gather you, for I will make you a name and a praise among all people of the earth when I turn back your captivity before your eyes, saith Yahweh Shemar Shai. And you see that. You see the captivity being turned over. Jake, all of a sudden now we're being noticed for the truth. The truth is destroying everything that Esau set up over hundreds of years in a few couple of years, man. You know, and then on top of that, you have all the tribes waking up in all these different countries everywhere, and it's alarming. You might not, two-thirds might not see it as significant, but it's very alarming to Esau because Esau knows about the prophecies. All right. Esau knows that once the children of Israel wake up, it's pretty much a wrap. Right. Do you have a precept? All
No.
right, con. Let me get like let me get okay. All right. This is Obadiah. And I'll start at verse uh I'll start at verse 6. Okay. Because these are one of the things that the Most High is doing to bring down Esau, man, and bring Israel back into power. It says, "How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and says, they that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Yeah, so you got China, you got Russia, you got Africa, and Africa's pushing Edomites out of that land. Okay, that's a wound in itself because then you're losing those resources that you had in those lands, and the government of the Hamites, they're rallying up their people to not allow you guys to infiltrate. All right, that's whittling down your numbers. That's a war tactic, right? Continuing, it says, "Shall not in that day, saith Yahweh Shemeshai, even destroy, Salakia, shall I not in that day, saith Yahweh Shemeshai, even destroy the wise men out of Edom and understanding out of the mount of Esau?" And when you look on the news, man, right, you're all confused. The Most High's confusing the crap out of this place because Esau no longer speaks to any sense. Like one minute it'll be, oh, there's a false flag of crisis, and the economy being good, and then the next minute you hear that uh uh this this state just went bankrupt, or they're doing a protest or whatever the case may be, man. Esau's understanding and his influence is just gone. People just don't even care anymore. The news is now like a TV show. It's like entertainment. Everyone knows there's no real news on CB24 and all
Yeah,
these
well,
things.
that's why Denzel Washington, there's a quote where he said if you don't read the news, you're uninformed. If you read the news, you're misinformed.
Yeah, that's a heavy quote, man. 'Cause everything is a lie. Everything's an illusion, right? They didn't set up these news stations to give you the truth. They set up these news stations to distract you. To keep, hey, today I was actually watching the news, right? And they were talking about um what's that guy's name? Charlie Sheen. Okay, but him can't pay some child support. But I'm reading underneath the script and it's saying bombs over Iran, this leader killed
God,
in this. And I'm like, why are they not talking about that? Why are we talking about Charlie Sheen? Who cares about Charlie Sheen?
hey, man, when I see that
Yeah,
news, it's so damn stupid, man. That
come on,
shit
man.
is stupid.
What just what listening, man? And you already know people in this day and age don't like to read. They ain't reading that,
Uh,
right? But what
yeah,
you
you
like
gotta have
you
a
said,
sharp eye. Same thing. CB24 does that too. They'll have some shit and then they'll have ratings. You gotta read it quick.
yeah, yeah. They're just scrolling through because they show all the important things at the bottom, but you're not looking at that. You're distracted with whatever stupid thing they're talking about on that day, man. All right, they're saying they're upset over a killing of a kid or medics that allowed a kid to bleed out and die, but yet they're not telling you that America's going over there killing thousands of Iranians, man. You know, starting wars with the East. They're not telling you that. Palestinians getting pushed out of their country. They're not telling you none of that stuff, man. That's why I said that these nations are going to deceive. These nations are backbiting you. They're doing what you do, man. Say, yeah, we'll follow, we'll do this, but then they say, no, screw America in the back closet. They're scheming how to destroy you, man. All right, and that's the tactics of Yahweh Shem Shai. Yahweh Shem is putting the spirit on these men to break your kingdom down into pieces, man. And Yahweh Shem is enjoying it. He's not gonna take you off quick. He's gonna watch you scatter. He's gonna watch you suffer. He's gonna make you get stressed to the point where eventually you're gonna want to off yourself, man. Because there's nothing worse than and being tortured. And there's many different ways of being tortured, man. Um, continuing on, it says. Verse 9 it says, and thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. And that's what's being prepared,
God.
right? That's what's being prepared. This is why we're here. We're here to read you the judgment on top of bringing one third, 144,000 of our people back to the Most High, but mainly also is to say your judgment, man. And Most High is already declaring that your end is here. Okay, that no matter what you do, you can't stop Jake from rising into power. You can't stop Israel from claiming our natural throne, man. We were made to be rulers. We were made to govern you. All right. That's what it is. But Esau doesn't want that. Esau wants to govern. He wants the blessing. But you don't know how to control the blessing. Look what you did in a few hundred years. You turned everything backwards. It's to the point where even you're having trouble now controlling your own society, and you're the ruler of it. You know?
Yeah, because it tells you, was that Sirach, as the head of the people, as the ruler is, so are the people. Roughly paraphrasing, right? Chapter 10, I believe. So at the top, right, is a bunch of what? Is a bunch of madness, man, a bunch of folly, right? The top, when you're mentioning the news, all you have to do is just check out who owns the news stations, right? Who
Right.
owns the publishing, the Times magazines and all these news outlets, right? It's all Khazars, man. And that's one of the reasons that the Germans, they were trying to get them Khazars out of there, because they were spreading a bunch of folliness, man. Back in the early 1900s and the 20s, man, they were mainly spreading pornography, man. And back then you didn't even hear that shit.
Yeah.
And then and they were doing all kinds of foul shit back then. Trying to get into financials and extorting people and loan sharks and all that shit. So when you go up to the top, man, there's a bunch of folly. So shit flows downhill, man. I heard that quote years ago. Shit flows downhill. If you don't get that, then That's on you. But shit goes downhill, and that's how the people are, man. You know, and that ties in with was that Isaiah 19, the Most High had mixed a perverse spirit in Egypt,
Yeah,
right?
come on, Isaiah 9, come on,
Yeah, man.
3 and 9.
So that's you know, and you're seeing that with them basically what they're doing right now is the Hegelian dialect with pedophilia, right?
Yeah.
They're bringing it
Mm.
forth, and it's really called the Overton window, right? If you look that up, they basically that's how they spread their madness, right? They introduce it to society, they get the reaction, and then they start normalizing it.
Oh, that was sick. Man. See that? You see that, brothers? You see what happens when you bring out the truth? The brother's going deep and saying, cut him out, man. Like where young, to, out of one, man. Out here acting a fool, man. They been trying to be slick. Hey, brother, I was just saying, man. You see how Esau came? He cut that right, yo. You were going straight to the point. He cut that right off. He's like,
Uh, that's if that's not Satan, brother, but because my shit didn't go, my signal's still up, and it just said I left the call. But
yo.
yeah, man. But the whole pedophilia shit they're spreading, they spread it to society. They introduce it, and even faggots back then was outrageous, right? People were like, "This is crazy," but you can't say shit now, right? So that's what they're doing now. They're just putting it out there, and then they start normalizing. They start giving it to you in spoonfuls, man, in doses. You know, and you people's will is already destroyed
Uh,
from the fluoride, from the chemtrails, from all the shit that they're spreading, man. Your minds are like a sponge, man. You don't have no backbone. You know, you can't an idea can't come to you and you say, no, hold on, my judgment says otherwise. You don't have any judgment, man. You know, you people are completely bugged out. You know, and thank your daddy, Alistair Crowley, man. He said, "Do what thou wilt," right? So you're following your master, man. You know,
that's right. I got that word perverse in the blue letter.
God,
It is H5773, and it's ava, and it's distorting, perverting, or warping. See, and that's what it says. Deprivatives. This is which is not unsuitable. No, sorry, Salakia. It says perversity. Yeah, perverse. So that's what Esau has warped your minds from righteousness, man. Okay, and then he's made you believe that first of all he took one step and said, okay, homosexuality is good. That's what he tried to present. Then he said, okay, the next step now is accepting pedophilia, and because of you dumbass people, you dumbass Jakes, you dumb ass heathens, accepting homosexuality, guess what the next generation is going to accept? He don't care if this generation accepts it. But it isn't about you. It's the next
God.
generation he's aiming
Yeah,
to
this
accept.
generation. I was thinking about that the other day, man. I
Yeah.
seen a thing on there was a meme and it showed how they're conditioning children chemtrails because in the Disney movies now they're having the covers of the movies and the skies are all they all have chemtrails going through them fumes. You can see all the fumes and the zigzags and the hazy skies. It's not blue skies anymore.
Uh,
So guess what? Your child, you're gonna tell some, you might tell the child about the chemtrails, and they say, "What are you talking about? This is normal." And this is, but listen, when
yeah.
I grew up, man, brother, when you grew up, we knew what a blue sky was. I still remember in my mind. I seen a blue sky a couple weeks ago. I actually tripped out. I said, "Damn, this is actually what it looked like." You know, like they actually missed one day because I was looking at it and it reminded me all the other days. And I always check the weather because I have to check the weather. You know, I check the weather every day and it
Yup.
might say sunny. You go outside and there's like a blanket, man. You know, and the
Yeah.
sun is hazing through. That's heavy metals, man. You know, and
Con.
then and they're completely conditioning your children. So
Con.
so to the point where that's normal, man. And they just busted a YouTube channel, right? The brother put it in the group in the WhatsApp. I remember I knew a child that watched those kind of things, right? And at first it's like kind of humorous, but at the same time it's like mischievous and diabolic what they do in those cartoons. Like people dress up like Spider-Man and different cart characters and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But then they start doing foul shit, man. they start doing what do you call it, sexual things. They start doing perverse things, right?
Yep.
They start teaching children in there because they're not speaking, they're doing. It's actions that are being shown. The child understand. The child is glued in like this, right? And they're absorbing it, and they might be doing a bunch of fuckery to their parents, man. To the point where the child learns, and then they'll start doing it, right?
Con,
So your children, man, you're not even educating your children, right? Then the
con,
scripture saying, was that Proverbs 22:6, train up a child,
con,
right?
con. Um, I got a precept just to back you up. Just like how foolish our people is, man. People are dumb, right? Um, Jeremiah 4 and 22 says, "For my people is foolish; they have not known me. They are sottish, and sottish means stupid, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge." Right? And the reason why you're so foolish and so stupid is because all these things are there, man. The facts are there, but you guys ignore it. You guys act like you don't care because what is the motto? It's not affecting me. So why should I care? It is affecting you. The chemtrails are affecting you. Just because you see it going in the sky doesn't mean, hey, when it rains, that stuff is falling, man, on you, in you. You're breathing it with the wind. Don't mistake it just
Yeah, I
because
remember.
it's
I
high up
remember.
in
I
the sky.
remember. Someone told me they left their car in the driveway for like about 2 weeks, and this was when it was really hot here, and then it wasn't a lot of rain, and they said they didn't drive the car, and then they went back to it, and they saw the car was dirty, and he kind of like took his finger, and he said it's a bunch of like shiny like metallic shit on the car, you know, and it was like very dark and like soot, you know, and
Right.
yeah, man, it was crazy because he only left it in the driveway, and he lives in like in a suburb. It wasn't even like roads near him, so it was just there. So it was everything falling from the sky. Yeah,
Yeah, and that's what you're absorbing, because what people don't tell you is that imagine all the planes that fly during the day and night, and it's mandatory that they have to spray that. It's mandatory, but then they use climate change as a cover up to justify why they need to spray those toxic metals, man. All right. That was it on my preset, but I have another preset if you don't have anything.
I was just holding Isaiah.
Yeah, bring that out,
40,
and then I'll bring
this
this
is
out.
Isaiah 47:1. It says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon," which is America.
Right.
Because you had ancient Babylon, right? Well, and when you go into history, you had the ancient Babylonian kingdom, which was during the time of Nimrod, right? The Cushites, which was in Babylon, was in present day Iraq. Those people in Iraq, those are not even the original Iraqis. The
Mm-hmm.
original so-called Iraqis are Cushites. And then you
Con,
had the so-called Neo-Babylonian Empire during the time of I believe it was after or before the Persians, right? Then the Babylonians came, then the Persians came, right?
yeah, con, yeah,
And then the Babylonians enslaved Jake. But now
yeah,
today it calls America, right? The daughter of Babylon. Why is it called the daughter of Babylon? Because it's like the what do you call it? The offspring. It has it carries its customs. Because the original customs of all the Canaanite gods, the all the heathen gods, it all
heathen,
comes from Babylon, man. It comes from Nimrod,
con,
right? The whole Trinity, right? It comes from Nimrod, Semiramis, and Tammuz,
con,
right? So all that shit comes from there. Even Christmas and all those pagan holidays, man.
same thing, yo.
So America keeps all those things, right? It says, "There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans." And the Chaldeans, when you go into Chaldeans, that was like the witches of Babylon. That was like the top warlock, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
The magician. It says, "For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate." Right? And America was tender and delicate. Was it
Mm-hmm.
not? Was it not the place to be? Right?
Con,
The
yeah,
American dream, man.
con.
Right? And at one time
Time
it
to
was,
live
man.
once in
You had
zero and
remember when
scared
you had
to
Detroit? That was nice.
lose. Uh, Yeah, no one's trying to mess with this place anymore because they see that this economy is breaking. They know now that Esau is more of an enemy than ever before. Like, come on, even the average Joe Edomite now is getting their horns out and shooting Jake. It's not even just the Edomite police anymore. You have random Edomites just shooting Jake, yo.
God.
So everyone's like, nah, man, forget that you Donald Trump is breaking breaking the go Trump is breaking the nation
Yeah,
apart,
but
man.
all
You
the
know,
companies,
causing all types of
all the companies they left, man. All the
con,
um, automotive companies, right? Like I was saying, Detroit was booming, man. That was the place
mm,
to be. Yeah, Jake that was doing very well in California too. You had a lot of warehouses and a lot of factories. All them shits closed down at one point, right in the 70s, I believe, or late 60s, right? And they've been shutting down ever since. And you notice I said the late 60s because you read in Obadiah. I don't know if you read that part when it says when he shall go up. I'm paraphrasing, but he shall go up to the heavens, then I shall bring him down.
oh, I didn't read that one, no, but I can go to it
You
when I
know,
have it. Con.
and that was in '69. That's when they faked the moon landing, right? But they still send them those shits up, man. They they send those fucking satellites and all that shit up, man.
Con.
Right? Right after that, what happened? He started falling, man. Because then in the '70s and '80s, man, Jake went crazy. You had a bunch of groups rise up right in the late '60s and in the '70s.
Con.
Esau started falling from then. You had a bunch of recessions, man. You had little curves in the economy. You know,
Con. Con.
you had some.
Yeah, con. This is Psalms um 9 and I'll start at verse 6. No, I'll go up a little more.
No, I
Um,
thought you were holding Obadiah because I still
oh
had
yeah,
Isaiah.
con. Yeah, I'll bring that up. Obadiah 3. It says, the pride of thy heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the cliffs of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down,
Huh.
saith the Lord
See?
Yahweh Shem Yahushai.
And that's them fucking satellites. And then so-called when they landed, they said what did they say? The eagle has landed,
Yeah, the
right?
eagle is like,
So the eagle is the symbol of America. The damn coat of arms of the CIA has the eagle on it. You know,
yup,
so
yup,
yeah, that's talking about America, man. Right. So back in Isaiah 47:2, right? Take the millstones and grind meal, uncover thy locks, make bare the legs, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. Right. And now it's in shows and movies, common knowledge that um, drugs were put in certain neighborhoods where Jake was. Weapons were given to certain neighborhoods, literally in crates, for in
con,
trains and open to gangs, man. You know, and that was all Esau's various agencies. So all that shit is being uncovered, right? I will take vengeance and I will not meet thee as a man, which is Yahushua. He's coming back, man. You know, that was it.
con. This is Psalms 10 and uh, I'll start at verse 10. Says he, no, I'll start at verse 11. He hath said in his heart, Yahweh hath forgotten. He hideth his face, he will never see it. And these devils, man, they truly thought that the Most High forgot, man. He forgot all the iniquity, forgot all their mischiefs, for all their robbery, right? But it says, verse 12, Arise, O Yahweh by Shemir Shai, O power, lift up thy hand, forget not the humble. And that's why you see us rising today. So you see us coming back to our nationality today, because Yahweh Shem Shai has not forgot us. He said that he wrote us on the palm of his hand, man. Right? He said just like how a mother can't forget her baby. That's the same thing how Yahweh Shem Shai is for Israel, man. He can't forget us. Um, verse 13 says, "Wherefore does the wicked contemn Yahweh Shemir Shai? He hath said in his heart, Thou wilt not require it. Thou hast seen it, for thou boldest, Salakia, for thou beholdest mischief and spite, Salakia, to require it with thy hand. The poor committeth himself unto thee. Thou art the helper of the fatherless. Break thou the arm of the wicked and the evil man. Seek out his wickedness till thou find none." And that's what's happening. Yahweh Shemashai seeking out the wickedness of Esau until there is none. Because the end all be all is going to be the 1,000 years of slavery and then getting burned up. That's when all your iniquities going to be toast, man. All right. It says, the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshua is king forever and ever. The heathen are perished out of his land because you have heathens there. You have the Amalek, you have the tribe of Amalek, the so-called Jewish people, and you have Ishmael, the Palestinians in that land. Okay, the heathens don't belong there, so they're gonna get perished. They're gonna perish in that land. Says says Lord, thou hast heard the desire of the humble. Thou wilt prepare their heart, thou wilt cause thy ear to hear, to judge the fatherless and the oppressed, that the man of the earth may no more oppress. See? And what is our desire? What is our desire? It says the desire of the humble. What is that? For deliverance. For our own kingdom be established. For us to rule. That's who Yahweh Shem Shai is hearing. The ones that want out, the ones that want to come back into the rightful place as king. And then it says that he's gonna judge the fatherless and the oppressed, that the man of the earth may no more oppress. And who's the man oppressing every single day? Man, the so-called white man. That's why Yabba Shemir Shai you have a puzzle. Most High is taking away that beautiful picture, taking it piece by piece, man. The puzzle's
Yeah, well,
complete. Go ahead,
it said men of the earth, right?
go
So what? You can't get no more men of the earth than your language
ahead.
being the official language of aviation,
God,
which is airspace. So the
God,
official language of airspace is English, man.
God, God, man. So it shows you. It
Every
shows.
nation, that flies, they have to know English.
Yeah,
Like I
God,
mean,
that's right.
pilots and attendants and all that, man.
That's right. That's right. And that comes to just to show you who the oppressor is, right? Because we don't have the ability to oppress nobody. We don't even have the ability to even make somebody even follow these laws, force them. We can say this is what the laws are, or you will perish. But we can't do what Esau does. Oh, you're not gonna follow the law? Okay, jail time, or whatever the case may be. So it clearly, right? It's not us doing the oppression, man. Yeah, you Edomites have it in for you because it's even worse that you sold out the rest of you Edomites because the rest of the Edomites in slavery, they're gonna hate you, you elites, man. You guys are gonna be eat food in the kingdom, as they say in modern terms, man. They're gonna hate you the most, right? Because not only did you oppress us, you robbed them of a chance, their only chance to live it up, right? You see how Jake do hate on hate crime and kill each other. I can't imagine what you guys are gonna do to each other in the kingdom, man. Um, that was it on that.
Can you get a precept and then you can get one more. We can close. This is
Uh,
Psalms 50. I'll just start at the top because you mentioned shit. What did you mention about Oh, you thought about the Most High keeping silence right when Esau doing his wickedness.
Con,
This is Psalms 50:16. But unto the wicked the Most High saith, I'm just going to read through this. The Most High saith, What hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenants in thy mouth, which is Esau, man. He takes these laws. He came as the pilgrims, as the conquistadors who were so-called Catholics,
yo,
and used all these fancy denominations. But at the end of the day, they all have one thing in common. They're a bunch of devils, man. You know, there,
con.
there wasn't one righteous devil among you, man.
That's right.
Even the devils that the Most High used, but like Bartholomew de las Casas, who was writing all these things, and he wrote that book, the Devastation of the West Indies. He was a devil, man. Unless he's a Jake, he was a devil, man. All right, and the Most High uses these devils, right, as so-called whistleblowers, man. Because other than that, we wouldn't get no information because that's how these things start, is by whistleblowers, right? It says, verse 17, seeing thou hatest instruction and castest my words behind thee, right? Going back to Genesis 20, not 25, but later on, was it 27? When Esau sold his birthright, man,
Con,
you know,
con.
and then he was complaining, right? It says,
Yeah,
verse 18, when thou sawest a thief, then thou consentest with him. And it says,
and that
and has
just
been partaker with adulterers.
yo, and did not the heathens always do that though? Dude, every time the heathens came through, right, and especially if Esau let the plague of first, right, Saturn, all that garbage, idol worship, and then actual adultery, man. Popping up women in front of us, all this folly, all this detestable things, and then our people grafted onto it. But the Most High never kept silent on that. He so bad he was writing down your tab, man. All that stuff was being recorded.
Con, and again, man, going back to the people at the top, man, it all starts from the top. The Hollywood producers, the directors,
Yo,
the executive top people in corporate business, and even above, because they'll have corporate dummies, man. But like CEOs and presidents, but those people influence a lot of things. And if you notice in Jake's, whether it be music, especially today, man, but even back in the day in the 90s and 80s, there was a popular theme, in music and entertainment and comedy and acting, motion picture, whatever you want to,
con,
point out, adultery, right? The damn woman, but they show the guy being a punk, like he's mean to her or I don't know, man, some shit. And then she'll go pop some other guy, and and becomes a love story. She goes back to that guy, and then she's still popping. You know what I mean? Like it's a
yeah, con,
popular thing, man. And if you notice, the majority of movies are that's the thing, man. Especially Jake among Israelites, man.
and
You
that's
know,
why that's why
what was that movie? Like, Jake, man, all these bitches love it. The dude,
Love and
he was a that's a good one, but he's like a poet. He's the dude from Menace to Society, and damn man, he was like a writer too, and he got with
basketball.
this chick, and then she got back with her ex, and then all like it's a whole thing, man.
Yo,
You
there's
know,
there's a bunch of movies like that,
there's a bunch of movies,
especially in
man.
movies,
But
man.
it's like
Because
one of those
there's
big ones
there's another
that
movie.
Jake loves. You know, even even the next one, The Best Man. That's all about adultery,
Yeah,
adultery, man.
the best man. I was just about to say that. That was the movie I was thinking about. The best man. Yo, that movie actually cheesed me because like when I was watching that, I saw that I was like, this bitch right here. How? And then she had the nerve to come back at the end and talk to this man, bro. Could never.
Yep. So that's that, man. It says back in Psalms 50, it says 19, thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. See?
And what Esau's main tongue right now? The movies and the TV. That's his tongue, man. That's how he influence everybody because guess what? These TV shows have scripts, which have writers. Anything Esau can influence, he does it through the TV and the scriptures, or not scriptures, the scripts, and that he writes in the movies, right?
Like it was called the movie's called Love Jones.
Love Jones. Yo, but it shows you that Esau's productivity is all about adultery, man. He gets
Yep.
off on that. He's a weird ass dude, man. Even that movie,
Hey,
remember that
Jake
movie
gets
we
he
watched?
made he made Jake get off on it too because now remember in Proverbs it says stolen waters are sweet,
Con. Yeah,
right?
he's just a weird dude, man. Even that movie, remember that movie we saw, man, at the Mayans, where that Edomite wanted that next Edomite to pop his wife? Yo, they're into that weird stuff, bro.
Yeah, Esau's into that shit.
There's
Back
a
in
movie.
Psalms 50, it says
Con.
And 20, thou sittest and speakest against thy brother, which is Jacob. Thou slanderest thine own mother's son, right? These things hast thou done, and I
Yeah.
kept silence, right? Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such a one as thyself.
You were cutting in and out, Doc.
Khan, I'll read it again. It says, verse 21. It says, these things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such a one as thyself.
So you guys thought that the Most High was one of you, sneaky, hidey, not gonna do anything, just lay back and watch it go down. You guys really thought, oh yeah, the Most High is like us. He's on our side. No, he wants the Trinity to be destroyed. Go ahead.
Um, verse
Go ahead.
yeah, in verse it says, but I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes.
Say that
Yeah, that
again.
was
Say that again. You were cutting out. Just
it
that
says
last little bit.
it says it says, but I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes.
Yeah, and you see that. You see that. We're in order. You see, we're in order, and we're vouching for our laws. We're vouching for our power and our king now. We don't care about your government. We don't care about your laws. We don't care about your statutes. We don't care about your holidays. We don't care about your future because we know what your future is, man. That's over with, man. Yeah, but set us up, made us remember that we are the kings. Stop following and start leading. The only people that we should be following is Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. That's it. I got a preset, and then we can end it off that. All right. So this is how Edom thinks. All right. But this is how the Most High is gonna get him. This is Wisdom of Solomon 2, and I'm gonna start at 12, because this is what Esau thinks. Right. This says, therefore let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn. Right. Because we're not made for Esau. We're truly rebellious actually against Esau, man. Esau has to drug us and warp our minds and brainwash us heavy to really be into what he's into, right? It says, and he is clean contrary to our doing. So we're clean compared to what he does, man. Because we don't naturally think like him. We don't think of gross stuff to do and disgusting things to do behind closed doors and in the open. We're not trying to push pedophilia. Jake might accept it because he's brainwashed. We're not trying to push that or accept homosexuality. That's not Jake. Okay? Majority of Jake ain't about that. It says, because he is not for our turn and he is clean contrary to our doing. And what isn't that not what we do week in and week out, every day making videos, that he offends the law of Yahweh Shem Shai, that he goes off, man, that he's contrary to the Lord. It says, and objective to our infamity, the transgressions of our education, because all he does is teach you to do the most evilest, wickedest, abominable thing on the earth. His education destroys you. It doesn't build you. Says he professes to have the knowledge of the Most High, and we call why we're here. We're here to reprove everything that Esau thinks he's gonna do. We're here to tell you that whatever you think you're gonna do, you're not gonna do it. All right. Um, it says he is grievous unto us, even to behold. See, that's why he's afraid. He said, even to behold. That's why when you grow a beard and that light shines in you, that wisdom, he can't even look on you, man. He's terrified. He's scared. All right. It says, he was made to reprove our thoughts. He is grievous unto us, even to behold, and his life is not like other men's. His ways are of another fashion. We are esteemed of him as counterfeits. He abstaineth from our ways as from filthiness. He pronounceth the end of the just to be blessed, and make his boast that the Most High is his Father. Let us see if his words be true, and let us prove what shall happen in the end of him. For if the just man be the son of the Most High, he will help him and deliver him from the hand of his enemies. So he's testing. All right. It says, let us examine him with spitefulness and torture. See, that's why you Jakes are protesting in the streets and getting shot down. They're this is a test to them to see if Yahweh Shem is really gonna help us, man. All right, this all is a big test. Then it says, uh, "Let us see if his words be true, and let us prove what shall happen in the end of him. For if the just man be the son of Yahweh, he will help him and deliver him from the hand of his enemies. Let us examine him." See, examine. Let us examine him with despitefulness and torture, that we may know his meekness and prove his patience. Let us condemn him with a shameful death. And how does he condemn us with shameful death? Shooting in the streets, hangings in the streets. All right. It says, "For by his own saying he shall be respected." And how is it? Are we respected through the spirit and power of Yahweh from the sky? Right. It says, "Such things they did imagine and were deceived, for their own wickedness had blinded them. As for the mysteries of the Most High, they knew them not, neither hoped they for the wages of righteousness, nor discern a reward for blameless souls." See, so they didn't even. It says such things they did imagine, and were deceived, man. For their own wickedness had blinded them. So Esau's own wickedness blinded him, man. All right. Esau thought that torturing us and slaying us and thinking the Most High forgot about us and seeing if he's gonna help us, man, that his own imagination is deceiving him, because Yahweh Shem Shai is gonna help us, man.
Shalom.
You came in kind of late, kind of we're about to just close out.
Okay, okay, okay. All right, man.
It's all
Next
good.
time, man. I
Yeah,
just got
Khan.
back home.
Oh, okay, Khan.
But
It's
shalom,
all good.
Akim, you know?
Shalom. So with that, we're gonna close and say Kala Yahweh by Shem Yahushai by Shem Havakakadash. Double honors the apostle great millstone who will and teach well, and so teach the Akim on the folk on the earth. Shalom, Kwam Yasha Allah, Mawasa Babal.